Basically, guys, I just want to point out that we are fucking lazy. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Performance Talks. I am Jake Jones, owner of TJE Performance, personal training, and online coaching. Now, today our topic is going to be why everyone should exercise and my own opinions on this as well. I might get a little controversial for some, just to warn you, but I am going to start with the positive benefits of exercising. And by exercising, I do not mean necessarily just going into the gym. I know some people know I'm a competitive bodybuilder, but I just mean literally taking your dog for a walk in the park, going to a yoga class, maybe trying to box, maybe just picking up anything that gets your heart rate going and burns some calories. That's all I'm looking for. And these are some of the positive benefits of doing so. Improved cardiovascular health. That's going to be number one. You're going to be way less likely to have any issues with your blood pressure or heart disease or strokes or other cardiovascular conditions. Number two, weight management. Something a lot of people struggle with nowadays is just their own weight. And I don't agree with the body positivity movement at all. You're not okay the way you are. But I'll get into that later. And basically physical activity and exercise, you're gonna burn more calories, and like you need to be eating right. Yes, I've gone over that in my previous few podcasts. If you want to learn more about macronutrients and just different diets in general, go check out my first two podcasts ever. But number three, enhanced muscle strength and endurance. This is really important. Not just being the strongest person possible, that doesn't necessarily have to be your goal. You don't have to try and be the biggest motherfucker out there either. Like, literally, just have enough muscle where you can live a healthy, sustainable lifestyle. And I think you honestly should want to be able to protect yourself from threats because there are shitty people out there and people are crazy. And I mean, nature is crazy. It might not even be people. And, there's a little bit of confidence with having a certain amount of muscle mass and just knowing your abilities, to be honest. Bone health. Weight bearing exercises such as walking, jogging, and strength training help build and maintain bone density. You hear a lot of old people break bones really easily. Not that often is it the elderly people who are exercising, to be honest. Now, yeah, not exercising does put you at a higher risk of osteoporosis and fractures. So, it is more than just muscle, guys. It is overall health as well. And exercising, improve flexibility and balance. Now, obviously, this is actually something I really focus on being a bodybuilder because the bigger you get, you kind of lose a lot of flexibility. My balance isn't bad at all, but my flexibility, I definitely have lost some. I go to a lot of hot yoga, stuff like that, to try and work on it. Just because exercise and going to the gym is all about self improvement. And how do you improve? You point out your weaknesses and your flaws, and you address them directly until they're not your weaknesses. And that's the beautiful part about this. Now, enhanced respiratory function. Now, obviously, people have a lot of issues with asthma, stuff like that. COVID happened, respiratory issues. Um, yeah, I think constant exercise does, I mean, obviously, if you have asthma, bring your inhaler and stuff. But if you want to long term, just have long term healthy lung capacity and respiratory function, it's pretty important, guys. It's just a good way to maintain it. Like, better metabolic health. Um, it helps regulate your blood sugar levels, insulin sensitivity, lipid profiles, and reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes as well. Um, better, like, I don't necessarily believe, like, oh, my body I hold on to stubborn fat. No, you just eat in a fucking surplus all day, every day, so you're not gonna burn fat. Like, You don't see starving people in Africa have any stubborn fat. And I stole that analogy from Alex Hermosi, but he had a really good point there. Like, there is no such thing as stubborn fat. The mental health benefits. This is something I personally relate to a lot. You just, it really reduces the symptoms for anxiety and depression. It promotes overall wellness. It is a natural dopamine hit. You get a serotonin boost from this. You get a lot of release of positive endorphins and other neurotransmitters. Like, it is a great thing. That's what I preach to my clients. Exercise isn't just for getting better in a few months from now or a year from now. Yeah, that's when you'll see more physical changes. That'll take time. But people completely ignore that it's going to make you feel better about yourself today. And that's very important. And that's where the mental health side, and a lot of people who go to the gym frequently will attest to this, that their mental health is pretty reliant on going to the gym and just getting it out and just having that stress relief. It's like its own form of therapy in a way. Stress reduction was my next one I wanted to hit on. It's just working out does lower your cortisol levels and stuff like that, which is your stress hormone, and it just that promotes relaxation after. A lot of people will work out in infrared environments and stuff like that, which is great for that, by the way. And you'll just sleep like a baby that night and not have to worry about the million things that are constantly on our minds and distracting us as humans. Like, everyone is stressed. Nobody feels like they have time, but you have time to exercise. I'm sorry. Like, make the time. It's literally that easy. Improved sleep quality. Huge, huge thing. I was just kind of touching on this. Exercise will help you fall asleep faster and enjoy a deeper sleep. I think a lot of sleeping issues nowadays do stem from a lack of physical movement just because we're such sedentary creatures, which I have a huge issue with. If you have the ability to get a standing desk at work, I highly advise so, at least one that goes up and down, so like when your legs get tired. But I do know a good friend of mine, Brandon Banks, who stands all day at work because he's a beast. He has a yoga ball just in case, but it is possible. That's my only point. Enhanced cognitive function. This is a scientific fact as well. Exercise has been linked to improved cognitive function, including better memory, attention, and problem solving skills. So it is more than just physical, like I said. Increased energy levels, you're going to get a boost of testosterone as men. The less fat you have, the less fat aromatizes into estrogen, which causes you to feel lethargic. And it's all just beneficial. Look good, feel good is a real thing. Social interaction. Exercise is a great way to meet friends. Going to the gym is honestly a great way to meet friends. And it's honestly a great way to meet good friends who are focused on self improvement and in betterment. Like, I can't tell you how many amazing people I've met, both working and just being part of the fitness industry and bodybuilding. Like, really genuine people surround it. And I think it's a great place to start looking for friends if you're trying to move in a positive direction. Longevity. Longer, healthier lifespan, guys. Do you want to be around for your grandkids? Do you want to be as long as possible for your kids, your future kids? Do you want to outlive your parents? Do you want to not put them through that pain? Like, it is. You can seriously end your life extremely young and put yourself at risk of heart attacks and stuff if you're just not paying attention to your health or your weight. Your brain health. Exercise has been shown to support brain health by promoting neuroplasticity and reducing the risk of cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases. That's pretty interesting to me. I love all these facts. Now, I'm going to top in on something that bothers the shit out of me personally, and it's more of the negative side. It's more of, along with the body positivity movement bullshit that I was talking about. It's not okay to be fat. It's not okay to me that in 2016, 650 million people were obese. It's not okay to me that in 2020, approximately 42.4% of adults in the US were considered obese. And why is that not okay with me? Because being obese and being extremely overweight doesn't just affect our current generation, it affects generations to come, and that is completely unfair to in put them in the condition where they're going to be more likely to have heart diseases and just be born with conditions. I'm assuming that almost everyone listening to this podcast will agree with me that it's fucked up when a mother or someone is addicted to heroin and the baby or whatever it is that they're addicted to is born with an addiction because of the mother's usage. You're doing the same thing if you're fat, extremely overweight, and putting your kid in heart disease. Yeah, you might not be doing heroin or drugs, but you're still putting them at severe risks medically. And things like kids born with diabetes and stuff that could have been preventable if had their parents had healthier eating habits themselves. Now, that's not every case for diabetics and stuff. Some people are just naturally born with it despite eating habits, and that's going to happen. However, there is a rate at which we can control it, and we need to lower this 42.4%. And in my opinion, we do that by acknowledging that it is an issue first. Second, we change the education system around exercise in general. Like, why are we still teaching the food pyramid and shit like that instead of basic macronutrients? Why doesn't every human on earth understand how to count calories and how to break down their macronutrients so they can actually live a healthy lifestyle? Like, we do this, we eat 3 times a day, but we're taught about history that happened fucking 2,000 years ago. Like, the education system makes no sense not touching on this, in my opinion. Just like it makes no sense on not teaching kids how to do taxes properly and stuff like that. It is all ridiculous. It is all made to make money. It is all a business. It is all a game. Like I said, it is all a game to the government. It's all about making money. I don't think they really care about us. I mean, look at the leaders of health in our government. You know, the fact that half of them have stock in Pfizer and shit. While this COVID shit's going on, they're promoting the shit out of the shots. Like, they're making money off it. It's kind of all bullshit, to be honest. Should be illegal. The leaders of our health health officials should honestly be living healthy lifestyles. It just makes sense to me. Just because you're a doctor, doesn't mean you're actually fucking healthy. And I'm sure many other doctors will attest to that. So, basically, guys, I just want to point out that we are fucking lazy. Like, as a human race right now, society's expectations are based around laziness. Just get off your fucking ass. Half of you sit all day at work. You get home, you sit on the couch. You're just wasting away. You're wasting your own potential. You're setting a horrible example for your own children and the people around you, the people you love, with your eating habits and your exercise habits, when you could be a living example for them of what they're capable of too. Remember, everything you do does have cause and effects, so choose what you do wisely. You don't have to give a shit about this. I obviously care a lot about this. I want to see obesity rates go way down. And not that I have anything against people who are obese. I genuinely acknowledge that, like, people struggle with things like stress eating and stuff like that. And I love working with people and taking them from obese to healthier, more sustainable weights, and just for their own health purposes. And like, that's what I do for a living, and I have nothing wrong with anybody who has made it to the point where they are living pretty unhealthily. Just acknowledge it and want to change, to be honest. If you do need help and you just don't know where to start, I'll give you a free month of online coaching, to be honest. Go to my website, tjeperformance.com, right now and just go to online coaching, type in performance talks, and you will get an entire month for free. It's that simple, guys. I really don't want anyone to have to deal with this shit anymore. I appreciate you guys for listening, whoever is listening. Episode 4, a lot more opinionated than the last, but I think this is a global issue, and I have a huge issue with it personally, and it makes me really sad to see overweight families with overweight kids, and just like knowing what that does to the kids' futures. It breaks my heart, to be honest, just because I do work in this industry, and I do have the basic knowledge and understanding to see the sad side effects that can come about from being overweight. It's just acknowledging, guys. That's all it takes. Care about yourself, care about each other, care about the future of this planet. Let's get to work.